What's up, my beautiful fruit and veggie lovers? We are live here on Holistic Regeneration with Kuba. Waiting for my friend Jin or Jeanette to do a live talk about creating a lifestyle of vitality. And of course, the neighbor's dogs. The neighbor's dogs are right on cue. They started barking as soon as I pressed the button to go live. Hopefully it won't last too long. And yes, so I will request for Jin to join. Let's see. How do I do this? Or maybe she will find me. And hopefully this goes smooth. And we will talk about creating a lifestyle of vitality. So while we're waiting for her, some of the things we'll talk about are fruit hauls. Okay, let me see if I can figure this out. I don't know. Jin, if you're there, please request to join. I wish I was better at these things. We're going to talk about fruit hauls, properly buying fruits and vegetables and produce. And then weekly food prepping to set yourself up for success. And then how to manage friends and family when you visit them. So I see Jin is here and she's going to join us. And then we're also going to talk about growing your own food. All right. Trying to join. Bring them on camera. Send invite. Can't bring Jeanette on camera. Oh, they are connecting. Sweet. Oh, yes. And I want to use my headphones. Hey, Jen.
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me okay?
I'm doing well. Did you hear me the whole time?
I heard you half of the time, I think.
Pardon?
I think half of the time. Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you, Kuba, for having me as a guest here.
My pleasure.
Live.
Thank you for joining us. I was more curious about the sound, if you heard the sound properly.
I can hear the sound.
Because I didn't have a microphone before. Okay.
Speaking of sound, I was playing around with the Third Eye Chakra.
Okay.
Sometimes it picks it up, sometimes it doesn't. Can you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome on in, everybody.
Beautiful.
What's up, Calvin? Opening for y'all.
Calvin, right on time for the third eye opening.
For those of you who don't know me, my name's Jeanette. My friends and family call me Jin. Kuba and I go way back to our learnings at the International School of Regenerative Healing, Arts, and Sciences. And I'm just so grateful to be a guest. So thank you all for holding space for us today while we share a little bit about our topic, which is
creating a lifestyle of vitality.
Yeah. And I got some herbal
What's up,
wine
Lizzie?
that
Welcome.
I make.
Herbal wine.
In celebration. Yes,
oh,
there's
beautiful.
about 70 different herbs in here, and it takes about 6 weeks to create. If anyone's interested, you can DM me. You can make your own.
Wow, that's so cool.
Salute to good health, Kuba.
To good health.
So
I got my
all you do.
green smoothie.
You're lighting up this
Thank
world.
you, Jen.
So
I'm happy we're connected here in the Holistic Regeneration group, because we also have another group, the Raw Reset group. And I know
shout out
you're
to
very active in there.
And Candy.
Yeah.
And Kuba
and Pascal.
And any other detox specialists that we know that like to come on in and share their gifts. This is what we're doing, is this buddy system of lifting each other up, because healers need to be supported, with their path to help others to heal. Everybody's a healer, ultimately. It's just those of us who are stepping into that power now really need this buddy system. So thank you so much, Kuba, for this opportunity to work together like this.
Thank you. My pleasure. Yeah, so let's get into creating a lifestyle of vitality. So some things we're going to talk about is like setting yourself up by doing proper fruit haul or fruit and vegetable haul. Also, weekly food prep.
This is so important. Usually I have, for the fruit haul, like this whole ledge of this window you see behind me, like mangoes all the way along, just getting that extra sunlight before I eat them. So let's talk about fruit hauling. Let's go step by step, yeah?
So we got Yeah, well, I was just gonna say that we'll do the fruit haul and then the weekly food prep and then visiting family friends and then growing
Explain
your
the
own
first.
food.
Okay,
Just so
sorry.
people know what to expect, we're
That's
gonna talk
very
about.
good. That's
Yeah.
very good. Thank you
So
for the
let's talk about
structure.
the fruit haul.
Fruit haul, fruit haul. I can't wait to talk about the fruit
So
haul because
you mentioned fruit haul, but you mean just fruit or a fruit and vegetable haul? Okay, like let me hear what you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
your thoughts
You
on it.
can definitely do both, and we'll dive more into like the convo on veggies. I think for now it's about hauling, whatever it is you're choosing to eat. It's your individual journey, so whatever you're deciding, okay, for this week, usually you just go to the store. I go to the stores. I look around Chinatown. I live in the city of Toronto, so we're very blessed. We have a lot of Asian markets.
Yeah,
I really believe heavily that emotion and intent are how you create. So when it's in your heart, oh my God, I'm loving fruit, I'm loving living foods, and you're doing this, what I like to call self-love lifestyle of abundance rather than a diet, right? This is a lifestyle of abundance. You're having living
definitely.
foods. I wish I had some mangoes in my hands right now as I'm talking. I usually do. I have some El Tufo. They're in season right now. I'm so happy. So intent and emotion. So the more you jump in, guys, into this living food lifestyle of abundance, and you're just loving the fruits, you're living and loving it, as some of my friends and mentors say, Rana and Gino, the master fast system. They're into really mucusless, eating and fasting, and they're just beautiful teachers and chosen family, and they're like, live it and love it. It's not an event where you just detox for a short time. So when you're living and loving it, and the intention is there to have beautiful supply in your home to make your life easier in terms of fruits and veggies, the way you see Kuba's fridge, I'm sure all of your followers will catch, if you're not on live with us, they'll be catching the recording, and they know you and they know you're stocking up. This is
Hmm.
becoming so readily available. All of this beautiful fruits and vegetables become readily available to you because of your desire. So as spiritual beings, we're creating, based on our intent and emotion, our desires, what's in your heart. So the more you get into eating more high fruitarian, high raw, doesn't have to be 100%. Again, it's a lifestyle. We encourage balance, and
Hmm.
that's what we do as coaches. We create customized programs, for you, depending on where you're at with your journey. The more you get into them and you start loving them, the more you'll create this availability. Like all of a sudden I manifested this agro trading here. It's literally 20 minutes
Yeah,
by
that's
car.
amazing.
They have all the exotic fruits. The
Yeah.
founders are from Ecuador, and they're bringing in fruits from Colombia, Ecuador, and Cuba. And this is just because I really cared a lot. I started ordering a lot of really high-end fruits from Miami Fruits, and I was getting the sour sop, and I was looking at my bank and the imaginary numbers in my bank account looking negative, and I was like, oh, I need something more reasonable, I suppose, if you believe
If
that this means anything. And
Miami Fruit
yeah,
is an amazing company, and if anyone is listening and wants to check it out, and to
yay,
save
hi
some money,
Miami
you can
Fruit.
use the code Kuba, Kuba, which I believe you did, Jin, the first time you ordered,
It's
and you can
literally the
save some
best.
money. Yeah.
They're growing it in Miami, and then they're just shipping it so fresh, and they're fruitarians, so they know how to eat like their friends of Cuba's. They know how to properly tree ripen. So this is the most important thing. So I'd like for you
That's the
to set your
thing.
intention on properly tree ripened fruit in abundance near your home. You don't have to go to the tropics. You don't have to go anywhere. It'll find you. The medicine always finds us. And
Yeah,
this is
so
the medicine.
is agro, what's it called? Agro trade?
Agro trading, if anybody needs a link, we're happy to
Agro
supply. They're
trading.
in
I'm guessing
Toronto.
they're also more like aware of picking fruit properly and all these things.
I was helping them a bit with that. It just turns out that there's a lot of luck, like almost like support behind, because their intention is so pure that they end up getting really high quality fruit. And it was just like almost just by sheer fate. They really want to support farmers back home in their country. and they know the farmers, they know they're not spraying like heavily like pesticides and all this stuff, but they're not organic. So I would say with the berries, definitely go organic. Yeah, Kuba.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
like I
conventional, what do you
as
suggest?
best as you can for sure. I buy frozen berries, so they're not technically organic. So I don't know, but I think if you buy fresh, it's better to get organic berries and organic tomatoes and organic celery and greens if you can, just because that's the stuff that's more exposed. They don't have like protective skin around it that you peel. So those kind of foods that don't have the skin that you eat like all of it, it's better to have organic or natural, like from sources that are
Yeah,
not
even the
heavily
grapes,
sprayed.
like the skin is so thin. Some people are really hardcore about organic grapes. I kind of agree. I can taste the difference with
Well, because
conventional.
you eat the skin of the grapes, right?
Exactly, and it's very thin, so maybe the pesticides even get inside. Because I was soaking conventional grapes the way I soak all my conventional produce in cold water and baking soda. 1 teaspoon of
Mhm.
baking soda per liter of water. Let us know your questions, dear ones. Thanks for joining us live. It's really nice to be here. 2 certified regenerative detox specialists, here to serve, and really fun topic today. So yeah, I like that you brought up the well, I'll just finish that thought. So soaking your right now I have the El Tufo mangoes. You always want to soak the skin, like soak the whole mango, and then you can go ahead, even though you're not eating the skin, you just want to get off anything that might have,
Mm.
gotten on there. And the baking soda and water is like an alkaline bath, so it draws off the pesticides. Oh, you try to buy all organic. That's so good, dear one. Yes,
Yeah,
organic
that's
is,
great.
it can be really high quality. And then at the same time, sometimes when it's peach season here in Toronto and they're growing locally, like sadly, the organic peaches they're bringing in from California can't compare to the conventional peaches in terms of
Yeah,
quality. So it just
that's a good
depends,
point.
right?
Because I'm here in Mallorca, Spain, right? It's different than when I was in Toronto. And I go to the local produce shops. I'm not sure like how I didn't ask them about pesticides and stuff, but it's like local stuff that looks really high quality, really vibrant. The vegetables are so like dark green and they're big and they're just like beautiful and natural. And I'm just like, we don't have much organic stuff here. You have to go. Okay, we are back. Internet crashed. I'm so sorry. It was going so well and then it crashed. It sucks. But here we are again, part 2, creating a lifestyle of vitality. I will invite Jin. I don't even know how to do that. Hopefully she finds us. Okay. Okay. So, Jin, if you are there, please jump on and we will continue where we left off. Hopefully she comes back. We're talking about fruit hauling, fruit and produce hauls, organic produce. And welcome anyone joining. Okay, Jeanette is here. We're going to continue where we left off. All right. So, okay, adding her now. Okay, a little bit of a glitch, but we are back. Yay, Jen. Thank you for your patience.
I got some cedar going, and I
Oh,
was just
nice.
playing the
Oh,
third
nice.
eye bowl. I
Cool.
really loved that you brought up the frozen fruit, because you can haul. Speaking of fruit hauling, and thanks everyone for your patience with us today. It's so
Yes.
nice to be together in this way. I really think that we should be fruit hauling anything we love. Frozen fruit can be really high quality. Hey, Jacqueline, you dear sister, it's nice to have you. Let us know your questions, guys, about fruit hauling or just creating a lifestyle of abundance, with living regenerative foods and lifestyle. Like, working with the emotions, working with any of this stuff, let us know your questions. You know, the fruit can really help us to expand on all levels. So yeah, with frozen fruit, you can actually get some of the highest quality, yeah, Kuba, because they pick it properly ripe. And
Exactly.
so it's preserved like that.
Yeah, they freeze it when it's ripe because a lot of times when they ship produce from so far away and they pick it unripe, it goes through like transport and all this process, sometimes in fridges, and then when you get it on the shelf, you sometimes have issues and it doesn't ripen properly. So so frozen fruit is great for that. And that's what I was gonna say about Mallorca is I get a lot of
Yeah.
local produce, which is very high quality. It's not labeled organic, but it just like has a higher vibration and it just resonates with me more and it just tastes so delicious. Like my mom, when she was
Yeah,
here, she's just
you're
like, this doesn't taste like this back in Canada, you know? Like she could taste the carrots, she could, it's just so real.
you're able to use your intuition, guys, when it comes to selecting your fruit, and just trust in that. You know, like Kuba just mentioned, sometimes it doesn't have to be organic for it to be really high quality. Now with organics, that's becoming a big industry too, and they are spraying, like there is organic pesticides they're using. And sometimes, you know, the quality, because as regenerative detox specialists, we're teaching that it's all about in the ripening stage, when the simple sugars come into the fruit, when it's properly tree ripened, that it is alkaline forming. And I love that you always have such an emphasis, Kuba, on the alkaline acid balance in regards to helping your body heal, and, you know, even working with your mind and emotions. You know, negative emotions can be very acidic. So these are all different
Definitely.
topics we could go
Yeah, that's
into.
different.
And I really want to
Emotional healing is a big one,
I
but
really want
that's
to
another
stick
topic.
to our fruit hauling. You know, that's the first point that we wanted to cover. So if anyone has questions about hauling fruit, like I would just say, bring a friend if you can, you know, and go together. And that way, one pulls up the car, you know, and gets, you know, you have crates, you have the buddy system we were talking about earlier that really supports each other on an emotional level. Speaking about emotions, you know, I often just go up to agro trading on my own, or go to these Asian markets, and I kind of, you know, wish that I had some people in my life that wanted to go for fruit hauls. So, Jacqueline, if you ever
Mm.
want to do that together, that would be really lovely. Because then you can buy a case of mangoes and then go halfsies. I've had some friends meet me at agro trading, and we go halfsies on the passion fruit, and we go halfsies on the mangosteen. And I mean, these are lovely fruits, but to get this exotic, you know, high quality fruit, like there's a price that comes with it. So sometimes you don't want to drop like a bunch of money on a full case for yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
And, you
yeah.
know, I went to you talked earlier about like, what about vegetables and stuff? And of course, like this is a lifestyle. So one must stay grounded and one must keep their spirits high. And if that means eating a bit of even cooked vegetables, it doesn't even have to be raw, you know, then go ahead. I just cooked a big casserole. I posted on my Instagram. If you guys don't follow me yet, the Healing Junction. You may have to type Toronto, depending on where you're from in the world. And in my story today, I just did cauliflower steaks, and I said karma free steak, you know, because everyone's barbecuing right now. And you
Oh
can
yeah.
even do this on the barbecue. And I went to my local health food store that has just a few organics, and they had cauliflower marked down. It didn't even look bad at all. They just figured, oh, we've had this on the shelf for like a few days. Let's put it on sale. And I got like two organic cauliflowers for like $2, cut them into steaks, including their leaves, put water in a big casserole dish, roasted this at 425 degrees in the oven, put cordyceps mushroom powder, I put cayenne powder, I put tahini butter, you know, and this is like how I create a lifestyle for myself, because honestly, I'm flying when I'm on just fruits. Like
Yeah,
I've
that
had a
that
bit of
does
cooked
sound like a
cauliflower
grounding
today,
grounding
and you
meal.
see I'm still like, you know, wanting to work with being in my body fully. And I believe that, you know, having a little bit more of these so-called grounding foods are important to keep us on the journey. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that's why I like to use the greens to balance out all the sugars from the fruit. And I like to use my
You're
celery
doing
juice.
gorilla milk, yeah, with the greens.
Gorilla milk is one of my favorites. If I put more time in it, I would make it more often. But yeah, gorilla milk is just mixing a plant milk with a green juice.
Do you
That's
guys
a
know
really
about
grounding
that?
drink for sure.
Drop it in the comments. Do you know about gorilla milk? How do you make your gorilla milk? I like coconut milk personally with just like a greens powder. Usually the first ingredient ought to be alfalfa, since that's a really great builder, right? So
Nice.
just to create that balance. Yeah, and just mixing those two together, putting a little bit of vanilla extract even in my gorilla milk.
Yeah. I put vanilla. So I'll use coconut, the flesh and the water, and then soaked almonds. And
Mm.
I actually often add, and I have it ready for tomorrow, soaked pumpkin seeds. And then
So
I blend that
hearty,
up with some
hey?
cinnamon, maybe like a little bit of sea salt. Sometimes I don't put salt. And then some vanilla, like the actual bean. Take
Yum.
out from the bean, you could take out the vanilla.
You buy the bean in those like long, they're these long beans, and you get
Yeah,
them in
and you
almost like a
split it
glass
open.
container or something
Yeah,
from like
and
a
then you
bulk
split it open
store.
and you take out the pods, I guess, the seeds
Oh,
from the
really? I just
inside.
cut a little piece off and put the whole thing in the Vitamix.
I used to do that, and I think, well, I don't know if the Vitamix
Ah,
pulverizes it, it's fine,
not
but
so good. You're true. Okay, and now
it
I know
would
what to
stay on the
do. So just
bottom,
take
but
the beans.
inside is all the good stuff, so you kind of waste
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Thanks for that tip. So what's a
I
fruit
didn't know that
haul
at
looking
first
like
too.
for you lately,
So I
Kuba?
wanted to actually share. It's been a blessing because I manifested a warehouse, and it's because I'm selling fresh juices here in Mallorca. So I would go to the local produce shop, like I told you, and since I started selling juices, I would get like cases from them, like cases of cucumbers, cases of apples, but they're not too big, so I was able to carry them home. But I would still get my celery from like the regular grocery store because I go through so much to make it
Mm,
affordable. And it's
mm.
not technically organic. And one client reached out like, "Do you have organic celery? I want to keep up my celery juice habit when I come to Mallorca for a week." And I was like, "No, but like I'll find it." And I went to that French store where they have organic celery, but it would never be enough, you know? It would run out quick for me. They're small. So I researched and I looked up a warehouse nearby, and I asked around in the warehouses about celery, and finally they directed me to one that had organic produce. So now I'm able to get a case of organic celery. I get organic whatever I want. I got organic dates the other day. I got organic ginger, and I just go to this warehouse and it's way cheaper.
Whoa, a
I haul it
warehouse of
with me on the
organics.
bus. Yeah,
Of
it's like
course
a
you
warehouse
manifested that.
that has an organic section and then a normal section. So I'll get
You guys
organic.
know this man's power, right? You hear it,
Man,
right?
you mentioned at the
Powerful
beginning
being.
of this live that it'll find you when you're
Yeah,
dedicated
the
to it.
one that
When
we
you're,
got cut off, the previous video. Yeah,
yeah, you said like the tropical fruit or whatever you're desiring will find you when you
it
put that
does.
intention out. So the organic
It
celery
does.
found me, organic ginger, or I can get organic cucumbers and apples if I
When
want.
you get clear that you love it, you have to first love it. You know,
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
desire. It's this is how we create as humans, right? Intent and emotion. So you're living it, you're loving it, and boom, it finds you. I used to be like that with cannabis. Guys, I used cannabis since I was 13 as a medicine, didn't know it was a medicine, then found out it was a medicine, you know. And recently I just have no desire. I went through this upgrade, you know, being on this high living food lifestyle, like any addictions, anything that you go to outside of yourself to make yourself what think that you could get through life better, you know, it just falls away. Like I'm vibrating so much higher. You know, I have these herbs. I don't drink alcohol. I have no desire. I allowed myself last year to get into a little bit because I had been 2.5 years strict, like raw vegan, like 90% raw. You know, did a lot of healing, healed from a C-spine injury. It's incredible what living foods do for us, you know. And then I said, no, I want to go out and I want to be in the spirit. And I'm going to take half a beer and just be in the spirit. Honestly, I did that for a bit. Then I started having a full beer or a full glass of wine. I don't know, because I let myself do it, I now have no desire at all. And I made this herbal wine more
Mm.
to extend dry fast. It's a medicine, it's a herbal tincture. It's not like, it's not drinking alcohol, which can be harmful, right? This is a medicine. So it's just like, it's no different than buying botanical tinctures, you know? And You put lemon juice, lemon peel, like I got 70 different herbs in there. And you put dried, you put fresh, and
And you
it's
made
just
that yourself.
lovely. Yeah, yeah, you guys
That's
can reach
amazing.
out. It's very simple to do. I learned it from Luigino Desario, a
And
mentor
then
and friend.
you drink this wine with herbs in it, not to get like tipsy, but for
To
the
boost your
medicinal.
vibration, and like if you're going through an emotional event because you are detoxing, you will go through, emotional events. You will experience pain and discomfort until you come out the other side so much stronger, so much lighter, feeling so much
Yes.
healthier, and having vitality on the other side. And while you're going through, you can use herbal medicine as support. So fruit haul, vegetable haul, herb haul. If you're having some cooked vegetables, you're going on, on a more balanced lifestyle of abundance where you're having a lot of living fruits, living foods like fruits and vegetables. And then you're adding in some cooked just to kind of keep your emotions stable so you're not feeling so out of body. You can put some fresh herbs on top of cooked food. And this is a
Yes.
great tip for someone transitioning, just adding that fresh herb in. I love the Thai basil, like the flavors, Asian cuisine has really inspired me with my raw, lifestyle, and adding in a few cooked, even like not 100% raw as you hear me talking. So yeah, I
Yeah.
really love this topic of hauling everything in. What was the next thing on the list?
But yeah, I also encourage people to, if they're using some cooked food, to just add fresh like greens and salads and things like that with their cooked meals. So just like
Yes,
balancing it out with the raw foods. Just adding more raw
yes.
foods, not being like strict, trying to be 100%. Like do what works for you where you're at as you're transitioning. It's a path of transition, and
Yeah,
that could take
someone
a
mentioned
while.
potatoes being very balancing. Absolutely. If you're having
Yeah,
a
if Calvin's
salad
on
and
the call, Calvin's big on potatoes and
you have a
using it.
salad, you want to add some, cooked veggies in the salad. Potatoes leave me feeling a little bit hungover the next morning. I've been having them lately, and I feel a
Uh,
little bit tired the next morning. But
Yeah,
it depends
I
what
drifted
level you're
out
at.
of potatoes myself. I used it a lot in my transition path, but I kind of grew out of it, I guess. I'm more
As a
like if I
Polish
use
man,
cook,
you
if
like
I
your
use,
potatoes.
yeah, if I was in Poland for the summer, I probably would eat them again because they're fresh. They're really fresh
I'm
and
just
nice at
kidding,
that time.
sweetheart.
But yeah,
What was
I just
next on
went
the
to more
list?
like legumes for the cooked food. So next is weekly
Ooh.
food prep. So to summarize the fruit haul, once you
Hold on,
have all,
okay, before you go there, you said legumes,
yeah, I'm more like if I eat cooked food, it's more like chickpeas and legumes.
but you soak and sprout them because there's like this is dead food, right? You really have to germinate these and get some life if you're going to plan to digest these well. Yeah. What are your guys'
Raw,
experience with legumes?
when I use it raw, I'm saying if I use it cooked, if I use
If
cooked food,
you,
that's what I'll use more instead of
okay.
potatoes because potatoes
But even you
dehydrate
could
me.
sprout them before you cook them, yeah?
Yeah, but I've been using them raw lately too. I just soak them and I blend them up into a
He's
hummus.
a champ, guys. His digestion system's strong because
Nah, but I
grains
don't
and
take too
legumes
much.
are
I can't
usually,
handle too much. I
ah,
can't handle too much.
oh God. Okay. Sorry, you were saying what was next?
Yeah, well, I'll use it in good, small proportions.
I know you
But
know what you're doing. When you coach people, I'm sure you teach them all this stuff. I get it.
yeah, and like we said, it's
We're
the
just on a short
transition
live
path.
today.
So
Yeah,
the
we're just on
weekly
a short
food
live.
prep for success is a good base of like the fruit haul. Once you have that fruit haul, you're stocking up your house. And your house is covered, like we were saying earlier, like your ledges there, the kitchen, the shelves,
Yes, I bring a
everything's
bowl.
covered in fresh fruits and vegetables and the whole foods and the healthy foods. And then you're ready for a weekly food prep. So that's the next topic is weekly food prep. So for prepping food, you can do stuff like on the weekend, on Saturday or on Sunday, and prep some stuff for the week. What I do is I prep some juices, and I try to get at least for like the next couple of days, 1 or 2 days at least, because it's hard. I drink a lot of juice, just to make extra juice so that when I go to work on Monday, Tuesday, it's easier to like just grab that and go.
I see how much juice you're making. You're a champ.
Yeah, I
That's
have the
so
daily
good.
juice habit, but I'm transitioning out of it actually for the summer. as the juicy fruits come in, and I want to actually
Ooh.
drink less juice and just
It's
hydrate
so
from the
fun to
fruits.
just eat a bunch of mangoes all day. Like if you have
Yeah.
access to good quality fruit, of course you don't have to be juicing all crazy. However, like, now that we're talking about potatoes and eating a bit of cooked food, like now that I'm allowing a bit more of this, I have one meal every night that's a salad with a little bit of cooked veg and mucusless as much as possible, and all day long I would prefer to have like beet juices, green juices when I'm eating that one meal that does contain cooked, because I want to hydrate up. Although,
Hmm.
like I said, if you're on a lot of juicy fruits all day, you have access to high quality. You could, on this topic of weekly food prep, and fruit hauling, which we just discussed, like you could just stock your house. Is so simple. What kind of prep do you have to do for these?
Yeah,
Like
that's
you
the
put them in
thing.
a bowl of water to
Well,
clean,
what you could do with the mangoes, if you want to take it to work and stuff, you could peel them and pack them into like containers, or you can cut them up and have them ready to eat like
like
that
high
for
end,
food
like
prep.
you went to Whole Foods Market and someone cut them all up for you. You could do that for yourself. Hey,
That
are you
makes it
seeing the
easier for the
comments?
week
Because
for
I'm not
sure.
seeing them.
Is there comments? I'm not
You
seeing
like
them for
to
sure.
respond to them? Guys, it's so great to have you on live. We may have to respond to comments after this live. I don't know. I'm not really I see them as they pop up. Okay, wait, I
You
can
see
see a
them as they
couple
pop up?
now.
I don't see any
You
comments.
have to play
Maybe it's a
around,
glitch.
Kuba. Like you have to touch the screen, touch the comments. Like now I'm seeing,
Oh, maybe I gotta swipe
I
left.
love making juice every day. Stacy, I should probably prep for a few days. I make it right before I
Oh,
drink
now they're
it,
coming
but
in.
making it ahead would be so much easier. It's so good if you have a cold press juicer. This could be part of your food prep. Absolutely, Stacey. You're right on. You're bang on, dear one.
Well, I
Awesome
can't
to
believe
have
the
you here.
comments were coming in and I didn't see them.
Thank you for your
Now I see them.
contribution, because then it just like flows so nice, because we can, we're all together in a circle this way,
Yeah.
right? So
I
it's
see
a nice
Calvin mentioned
discussion.
that you might want to do a week-long juice feast. I eventually want to go full juice for at least a week.
Well,
Yeah,
you
that'd
have
be cool.
many videos on that topic for sure. We could support you,
Yeah,
Calvin,
I
with
do.
that.
I got
And
well, in the group I got the 3-day cleanse guide, which gives a lot of information to properly prepare for sure.
where can they find that? Is that just like pinned to the top in the
Yeah, it's
Holistic
pinned
Regeneration group?
it's pinned to the top, yeah.
If you're not already
I
in the
also have a week
holistic
long.
regeneration group, DM me, because I'll be sharing this on my social platform. So we want to invite you guys there into another private group with Kuba leading that one. And before you go on, Kuba, please remember that thought. I just want to finish talking to Stacy about, like, yeah, if you're gonna juice for a bunch of days ahead of time, just get a cold press juicer, and the living enzymes, vitamins, minerals in the juice will stay active for up to 4 days in the fridge. And what I
Mhm.
do is I use like glass bottles that I had gotten at like Village Juicery, for example. If you're from Toronto, you'll know you can go to this place called Village Juicery and they'll juice for you, right? Like your
A
business,
local
Kuba.
juice shop. Yeah.
So I save the glass bottles, and then when I juice at home, I reuse them. I just use a funnel, and I don't leave any oxygen at the top. Like
Yeah.
that's the trick, right? So that way it stays so like full of life and vitality. So awesome. Let us
Another
know,
thing I do
Stacy,
is
down the road if you do that.
I add lemon or lime to my juices to preserve it as well.
Lemon and lime for sure. I always use those even in the juice because they're so alkaline. Citrus, guys, is the most pulling on your lymphatic system. As a
Exactly.
detox coach, I'm always talking about eating more citrus. Some people can't tolerate it, so that means they're very backed up with acids and toxins. It's not the citrus that's the problem. It's not, don't blame the fruit. It's this chronic state of acidosis, right? They're pulling this out of their own body, and then they get maybe burning or something. That shouldn't happen. So we start them off with some green juice, and then they can go like 1 drop of lemon and see how they do, and then 2 drops of lime, or see how you do. So do you have a juicer, guys? Let us know in the comments. Stacy, do you own a cold press juicer, like a masticating juicer or a centrifuge? We'd be very interested to know. And sorry, Kuba, please continue with your thought.
Lizzie says that she's on day 44 of a juice feast. You're all the way at day 44. That's an
Congratulations.
amazing
Oh,
number.
Lordy.
I'm
How
happy
are
to
you
be celebrating
feeling?
that with you. Yeah,
You're
how are you
actually
feeling?
running on field strength now. You're not, this is like you must feel amazing. When you're living on a solid food vacation, you're tapping into a different source of energy, right? Like you're really connected to spirit. Like this is people, the problem we see in our community is people go on these long juice feasts and then they don't know how to eat after. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually promote long juice feasting anymore. I actually will help people to create a lifestyle. However, if it's someone with really advanced neurological conditions, I'm helping somebody with MS right now. Their protocol is full fruit and juices. So there is no like grounding on vegetables when you have something serious like that. So, of course, it's a personal journey. And congratulations to you, dear one. Holy Lordy. You're really tapped in and guided when you're on just juice. So, congrats.
Yeah, Lizzie's on her journey for sure. You feel free to share whatever you want, Lizzie. But
So good to have you here.
yeah, Stacy
Yay.
has a Nama juicer. I've been thinking of buying that actually too.
I'm not familiar with this one.
The Nama juicer, the Nama J2 is the newest version where you can put like a whole pineapple or like
What? That's
all your
next
produce in, and
level.
it just like does the work for you. It's amazing.
Commercial juicer, probably, hey?
Lizzie feels amazing and clean and happy and healthy and connected. Yeah, so I myself, I've done a 91-day juice cleanse myself a few years ago, but I also don't promote the long ones these days because I feel it's more sustainable to do like short ones and then rebuild, short ones and rebuild. So I actually do have a week-long cleansing program available. Calvin, if you're ever interested, let me know. But
Yes,
I
come on
promote the
in.
short
Welcome
ones.
on
But
in.
if you want to do a long one, I think like it's great and you go with the flow and you feel it in your body. And if you want to keep going, just like enjoy the process, especially if you feel good.
And
I just
break
think
it
I just
properly. Come
and
over to
break
the
it
raw
properly. Yeah.
the raw reset group where Kuba and Candy have a recorded video of them talking live on how to properly break a juice feast. You'd be so welcome to join the raw reset as well. Thank you, Kuba, for having me, letting me do the little plug.
No problem. I was
So
wondering
let
if
us
that
know
video
when
with
you
Candy
begin.
safe.
Thanks,
Oh,
Calvin.
Stacy does not have the J2. She has the other Nama juicer, but it's a vertical juicer, basically a slow masticating juicer.
Okay, so there you go. So fill those bottles all the way to the top, and you're good for up to 4 days. Definitely supports you throughout your week. So we're on this topic, Kuba. It's lovely to look at the comments as well, and let's see if
Yeah, we're
we
talking
try
about
to keep
food
it
prep,
within an hour. Yeah.
and Lizzie actually asked if we use dehydrators for food prep.
Yes.
Do you? Do you,
I
Jen?
mean, I
I
have
have
the
not used a
Excalibur
dehydrator in a while.
many
Okay.
trays, but it's been a while because when I eat dehydrated food, I feel dehydrated and you're removing the water. So I use it as a treat. I was recently, instead of like doing it all myself, which can be really enjoyable, and I love spending time in my kitchen. It's just I got a little bit busy with clients lately. So I ended up just going to this Earth and City, I believe they call it, this booth at this farmer's market. And they're taking the pulp from their juice, so they're doing juicing like you guys and like all of us. And then they're taking the pulp and they're using that in a recipe with like, I guess they soak some sunflower seeds first and then they like put it in the food processor and they make these crackers that have like beet and rosemary. And so I got a few of those dehydrated crackers in me recently just as a treat with my dinner. I had some cashew cheese and I don't know, like the cashew cheese is heavy, those are dehydrated. Like it's like I ended up needing a lot of water, felt tired the next day. So just a little bit of dehydrated stuff. Yeah, like I'm glad you bring that up because then there's also the option to have something sweet, right? So you could create like really healthy desserts as part of your food prep. You could do some dehydrated, like, fruits, dried fruits is what I'm trying to say, that don't have the sulfur. You could do that yourself in a dehydrator or just go to a local health food store and grab some of those dried mulberries or and remember anything dehydrated like this, just little amounts, just as a little treat to keep you on this lifestyle of abundance. Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
want to comment on anything I shared there?
I
I would
bought
love to
the
hear from you.
organic dates. I bought 2 kilogram box and I overdid it and I felt it
Ooh.
dehydrated me for sure.
Yeah,
So
like
you
two,
gotta be
three
like,
dates, maybe 4 dates max, majority
exactly.
dates.
Yeah.
Time. If you eat dates and bananas together, this is a builder. So a lot of my clients really like it. I just say, okay, maybe just a few. Actually, what's interesting though, Kuba, is dates grow in the desert. What does that tell you about them? I think they're
Hmm.
actually hydrating.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so you guys experiment and you let us know.
Actually.
This is your journey and we just want to support you with this. This is
Well,
amazing to come
I
together
think
like this.
dehydrating is great for transition as well. And I got one of my clients to use his pulp from when he makes gorilla milks and almond and coconut milks. Use the pulp, and he's been making granola bars and like cookies and stuff. And I think it's like a great
What?
transition food. Yeah.
So yum. I love that. Yeah, so food prep. I mean, I just fill my sink with cold water and a little bit of baking soda, like I mentioned before, a teaspoon of baking soda per liter, and I put all my produce in there, organic, conventional, whatever it
Awesome.
may be. Soak it all, and just with the lettuce, I have a lettuce spinner. I will spin some of it, but some of it I will leave a little wet. I'll rinse off the water with baking soda with regular water, and you could still ingest a bit of baking soda. It's not going to hurt, but I just rinse it anyways. And then I wrap it in a dish towel, and so the really dried romaine, for example, I might use for if it's Sunday food prep, I could use that for Monday and Tuesday. And the wet one, you could put a paper towel in that's wet, wrap it in a like a cloth, like a dish towel, put that even in a plastic thing. That lettuce stays fresh all week. So on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm gonna go over to a friend's house. I just bring my romaine, like it's like I'm
Oh,
carrying a
cool.
baby. It's in this wrapped cloth, my baby romaine. And I actually find it so easy. Like if you're out and you're in a pinch, go to a Mediterranean place, grab some tabbouleh and some cooked potatoes. If you're having that, I know some of you are juice feasting. That's the last thing you're going to want to have for a long time until you transition back with fruit, breaking the fast, the feast um, properly and slowly and mindfully, and getting into salads and avoiding the seeds and the nuts and the grains and all that. But yeah,
For
when I'm in a
at least a
pinch,
solid week or so, right?
yes.
Mm.
And well, depending on how long yours was, like that's the whole thing. You have to consider how long you've been on it and just break it wisely. And yeah, when I'm in a pinch, I'll just go bring my little baby of romaine, and I'll just grab something, take out some cooked veggies or something, and then I can make a little meal like right there and then. Always having a raw, I'm gonna go grab it. I did a raw vegan dressing. It's fat-free, salt-free. It's
Yeah,
a
do you
mango
prep that as
chipotle
well
lime.
ahead of time?
Yes, and it
Because
lasts
that's
like
one of the
all
things I
week.
do is I make a dressing on Sunday and it'll last for like a few days in a glass
Dressings
container.
are the best. I want to hear about
And
your
then when there's
dressing.
lemon in it, well, one of the ones I make that I do ahead of time is the hummus one, which you probably wouldn't want. That looks
So good,
beautiful.
so good. So green onion, mango, soak some medjool dates in some warm water to soften, because then I just blend it in the Vitamix. You obviously take the pit out. Uh, Chipotle pepper. I found fresh chipotles at a Mexican shop in Kensington Market in Toronto, and sorry, I found dried, a package of dried chipotle. Like if you go to these Mexican places that sell food, like Mexican grocery stores, or you have something around you like this, there's all different like peppers. There's poblano. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Maybe you guys can help me, drop it in the comments. I think it's poblano. It's a spicy pepper from Mexico. Um, the chipotle, and you can freeze those. They're dried. You could use your dehydrator, dry your own hot peppers, habanero, all that stuff. Agro Trading has a lot of habanero peppers here in Toronto, fresh. And you can just pop the dried pepper in your freezer in plastic wrap. And then whenever you go to make your dressings, you have your heat, right? Because if anyone's been trained in culinary, you need your acid, your sweet, your salty, and your spicy to make something nice, and your fat. And so some tahini butter could go nice. I didn't put fat. This is a fat-free, salt-free. Well, what did I do for saltiness in a salt-free dressing, I did some seaweeds. You
Hmm.
know, what else is salty? Some medicinal mushrooms, cordyceps powder is salty and cheesy. So
Yeah,
food
celery
does
is
make you
salty.
really
Adding
sick, though.
celery to your dressings makes it salty as well.
Ooh, you can dehydrate celery and then you can grind it in the food processor and it becomes very
True.
small. So you're going to want to dehydrate a lot, but you cut them up into pieces, put them on the dehydrator sheet, and then grind them up, and you will have like celery salt, like real celery salt, not like the stuff you buy in the store that actually has salt in it. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
just celery. So, what's next on the list? Or you like to talk a little bit more about food prep, guys? Let us know. Any questions about
Mm,
food prep?
yeah, there was a question. Oh no, Lizzie was just asking how much water we drink every day.
Oh, that's a great question. So, I would prefer to just get my hydration from the fruits, the berries, the melons, and the vegetables that are botanically classified as fruit. So, like your
Okay.
zucchini, your cucumber, your bell pepper, red, yellow, orange. Never do green because it's like no, it's basically an unripe red. These are like considered nightshade, like tomato, but that's not true until you cook them. No such thing as inflammation from a red bell pepper raw. I'll tell you that right now. This cleans inflammation out. So yeah, getting my hydration from nature, because the plant, you know, the tree where the fruit grows on, will grab onto this water from the rain, you know, this mountain water, this clean water, but then it'll revitalize it into really energized organic vital water. And so I only would recommend drinking to thirst if you're a high raw fruitarian. So if you're going to drink water just to thirst, it might have meant that you had a little bit of salt or something, you had some cooked food, you know, now you need some water. Really, I do herbal teas and
Oh, herbal
enemas
teas are
with
very
herbal
hydrating.
teas. Yeah, enemas with herbal teas. Never coffee if you ever want to have a natural bowel movement again. Do not do coffee enemas. And it's okay if you're not into enemas because the raw diet cleans your bowels. Just with kale and like some of those cruciferous, I would prefer those cooked because you don't really digest them, but even better, juiced. Like kale
Juice for
juice.
sure.
How amazing, Kuba, right?
Yes. That's one of the ingredients for the gorilla milk. But
Ooh,
what was I gonna say? I
gorilla
forget.
milk.
I'm a little tired now because
Yum.
it's 11 p.m. here, but I used to not drink really water either because I was like, oh, the fruits and vegetables give me it, but I've been actually putting more intention to drink water. And every day I start with a lemon water, so about a liter, and then later in the day, like before dinner, somewhere late afternoon, I'll have another liter with daily green boost powder. I like to structure my water. I don't really enjoy just plain water. So I've been trying to get a
Interesting.
couple liters at least a day.
What are your thoughts on water, like having to be filtered through the kidneys? Do you think that, you know, it's overworking the kidneys to, because some people are drinking like 2, 3 liters. They're forcing themselves to drink all this water because they heard it was good for them.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not into forcing it. I like to enjoy it.
Well, you're very
Like the
active
daily
when you're in
green
the
boost
hot
with my
sun. So,
yeah, it's true. I'll bike like today I bike an hour and then to run some errands and do some work in a cafe and then I came back an hour and then I came home
yeah.
and I still didn't drink. I
And
took a little
lemon too.
nap
You
and then
add
I drank
lemon
and
to
then it
it.
was like such a no, it's just like water and daily green boost powder. So
Okay. But
Barley Grass
earlier
Juice
you
Pad.
did the lemon water.
In the morning I start with
Very
lemonade.
alkalizing,
So I
because
do like a
water is
lemon
not
and
alkaline nor is it acid. It's designed to
it's neutral.
carry out waste, right? And people are like, oh, should I drink alkaline water? We could talk about water for like hours, and all the research I've done on water has taken me like months and months, and really ultimately I've come up with spring water is the best. And give your kidneys a
If
break.
you can
You
get
know, this is
clean
why dry
clean spring
fasting
water.
can be really good. But we don't promote long dries, guys. Just when you're dry, like overnight, when you sleep, you know, you're
Yeah.
doing a lot of healing. Yeah,
There's so
that's
many
cool,
topics we could
Kuba.
talk about. So to
Yeah.
end this soon, we're just gonna talk about growing your own
Let us know your
food
questions, guys. Any
and visiting with
comments?
friends. I don't know if we have time to talk about all this, but
Hold on. What
um,
was the next one on the list?
visiting with friends and family,
That's the last topic.
and then growing your own food.
It's very fast. You're so funny. We don't have time. We part 2 another day. What do you guys think? Drop in the comments below. Leave a heart if you like us to continue for another like 10 minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes. We keep Kuba up late at night. It's only 5 o'clock for
I
me
say
here.
might as well continue.
Might as
So
well continue.
visiting with friends, like for me, it's pretty simple. I just always eat before. Like I always make sure I'm satiated before with fruit, like a smoothie or fruit. You know, something
I
that
get
will give me
hungry
like,
after fruit. I'm only good for like 30 minutes. Then I want more food. Like if it's say a
yeah, but
dinner,
I'll
I'm gonna
drink like
go
a big smoothie, like a liter and a half or 2 liters.
sip
Like
and chew, guys. Sip and chew.
I'll
Like
make sure
you're
I'm
not guzzling
satiated.
that back, are you? You're chewing the
Um,
smoothie, the juice, you chew it a little bit, start the digestion.
I'm not sure how much I chew.
That's a lot of liquid to just be guzzling down.
No, I don't guzzle it, but I'll
I
drink it
know.
just like medium pace. One of the things I'm like not, I'm trying to protect my teeth,
I'm
but
not trying to
it's
bug
a
you,
tricky
Kuba.
situation.
Kuba,
But
you
I
guys,
like to
Kuba's
feel
like
like
a chosen
satisfied,
brother, so
and by the time I
don't
go
worry.
to meet my friend and we drive to the restaurant and whatever and go to dinner, it's like I'm not over full and eating like right away
I'm just
after.
playing with you,
So
dude.
it's like a good way to be satisfied and then go to dinner knowing that you won't be
It's
like
smart.
hungry if you just order a salad or something, depending on
That's
what you order.
wonderful. I've been on a 40-day Concord grape juice feast, with the Master Fast system. And I had a Father's Day event. And I'll never forget because I went through so much turmoil because my family wasn't comfortable with me fruit juice feasting, yet. They didn't know that this was going to be my chosen path. They were like, oh, she's out of her mind, kind of like you share about your mom before you got her into, like, just by being you, she developed like this desire to try it. And now she's all like filled with vitality, right? Through following a more juicy path, I would call it, fruit and juicing. So I would show up and I would just have my Concord grape juice. I'm not going to let my choice to juice feast, interfere with my relationship with my dear ones. So I show up and I say, I'm on I keep saying fruit feast because that's like all I do now. I don't juice feast anymore. But at the time, I'm like, I'm on this juice feast, I want to be with you. I love you. And they a couple times like while they're eating food and I'm just on my juice, I poured my Concord grape juice into the wine glass because we were at an Italian restaurant and they had wine glasses and I'm just sipping it and there's connection, there's presence, and that's all we need. If people have a problem with you not eating, that's their problem. I've worked a lot with codependency and letting go, and it's like people have to own their feelings. I don't have to take them on. So, the only thing was the couple times they were like, aren't you hungry? And you just have to remind them, that you're perfectly satisfied. And in fact, you feel better than if you were eating. The other
Yeah.
thing now that I'm a little bit more balanced with my choices, I, I will go to a friend's house and I'll always bring that romaine lettuce with me.
Yeah.
Um,
If you're going to friends'
having
houses, always bring some food with you and bring
having
enough
some
to share.
fresh, yeah, to share. I mean, one house I go to, there's too many people. It's a spiritual community and they do sound therapy and community sound baths and all these events. And the founder, she always laughs at me. Natasha, you're such a dear one. Thank you for just your spirit. And if you're ever catching this recording, just for everything you helped me with in life as a spiritual being leading the way. She always laughs though, because people will be like, what's that? And I'll have my own Tupperware and she'll just be like, oh, Jen always brings her own food. Because like, I'm not going to feed a whole bunch of people. Like, bring your own little Tupperware. It's fine. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
You guys have any tips? Let us know
I
in the
like to
comments.
I like to make like a nice salad that I can like put out to share, but then also make sure to have enough for myself to be satisfied. But that's all
It's
I would
wonderful to
say.
share. It's wonderful to be able to share. Raw dressings, like our food prep we talked about, like just bringing your dressing and some fresh stuff, and you could just have something simple.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
look
just
at all
learned to
the
bring extra to
beautiful
share because
words.
there's times where I would bring not thinking to share and people want to try it. And then I would be like hungry because I didn't have enough. So I learned to always just bring more because people are like so attracted to the living foods, you know? It's so
Oh,
colorful and
Lizzie
bright.
wants you to take care of yourself and go to bed, dear one.
Yes. And Calvin sent me
And
a hug. Much love and a hug
Stacy
to you
says
too.
smoothies with a little chia seed and water. Yeah, packing some smoothies is always really nice and easy. And was there one more topic that we missed, or
Yeah, growing your own food.
do you grow
Do
any
you?
sprouts, guys? Are you experimenting with hydroponics in your home? You could grow lettuce in your home and stuff like this.
Yeah,
Now that it's good
microgreens and
weather,
stuff. Yeah, I do
some people
sprouts
are potting
sometimes,
some
and I'm actually
seedlings.
planning to get into more sprouts exactly now that summer's time's coming. And with more sun, they grow faster too.
My Reiki teacher, she moved to Maui or sorry, the Big Island in Hawaii, and she moved there before. And this place is so magical that if you're not there to serve, it kind of just kicks you out. Like a lot of people think they go, "Oh, I'm going to move to Hawaii," and then they can't make it there somehow. Like it just the island removes you. It's just such a like vortex, for highly elevated beings. And I don't know if you guys know Taylor A. Norris, but she's my teacher and I love her so much. So she got kind of booted out a couple times. Now she's there and she's teaching Reiki as a Reiki master. And she's growing like a wild food garden to like support community and do like events so we could all go and just like do some really
Cool.
cool stuff together. And so now the island is like, well, come on in and like supporting her, and she's manifesting, all her dreams, like in terms of growing her own food as a raw, high raw vegan. So all of your dreams can come true, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you
Calvin
so
has a
much for
booming
working
garden
on yourself in
himself.
this way. Yay,
Cal
Calvin.
Calvin has a booming garden, but he's trying to switch to hydroponics.
What a
Yeah, I
boon.
miss gardening. I would always
When
have
you
a
have one of
garden.
those, it's a boon. I just
What?
learned that word recently.
What?
Boon.
What's boon?
Just when it's, you guys can look it up.
A
I'm
boon.
not going to do it
Okay.
justice. A boon is like kind of like a bounty, like a boon, like something like
Okay.
amazing that you've been given.
He's saying he has a boom-in garden.
I know, I
But
know. I just thought this
okay.
word that I just learned.
Yeah,
Love you guys
gardening is so
so much.
great. Like
Thank
on the
you, Kuba,
balcony in
so much.
Toronto, I would have, since I couldn't garden, I always would garden when I have a house. I would just have pots, and you could garden
Yeah.
in pots on your terrace, on your balcony. Like it's simpler
Some
than
of
we
my
think.
clients over the last 5 years that I've been coaching people here in Toronto have really inspired me with that. Like they live in small apartments and then they have like all kinds of like lettuce growing in their
Urban
home and like
gardening, yeah.
all like within like, I don't know, this tiny like 700 square foot apartment. It's so
It's
cool what you
amazing.
can do at home. So let us know, guys. We're here to help you. I really appreciate you, Kuba. Thanks for having me as a guest in
Thank you
your
for coming
group.
on, Jin. Thank you for providing so much value
Lovely.
and teaching so much.
I
Hopefully
do a
you
little
guys
third
loved
eye
it,
to
and
help you
whoever's
to
catching
sleep.
the replay, hopefully you're benefiting.
You can close your eyelids down for a moment, taking some slow, soft inhales and exhales, bringing your awareness into your body. Maybe do a gentle scan from head to toe. Ooh, how is this beautiful temple feeling and supporting me right now? Thank you so much. Just being okay with any areas of tension, knowing that everything passes, nothing lasts forever. Just like this life, it comes to an end eventually. So does any suffering, even joy. Everything is transient. Wishing you guys so much love and light on your beautiful healing journey. Namaste, dear ones.
Namaste. Thank you. Good night.
Good
Bye,
night.
everyone.
Bye.